Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andy and I'm the resale chick. It's been a minute. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. So sorry everyone. There's been so much going on. I have been so overwhelmed. I don't know if you saw my last video, but I got a ton of free stuff. From my ex-husband, and it's all vintage. And that was a lot of research, a ton of research. I'm still researching things. I have a lot of it listed, but yeah, it's been crazy. And then I have to find some place to put it. So it's been a little crazy, but I wanted to come on here and I wanted to do a what sold video at least, because I've missed you guys. I really have. I've missed being on this channel. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put together a quick what sold recently and just some of the stuff that we've sold that have been pretty good sales, or maybe they have a story or whatever. So let's go. Sold this new with tags, Old Navy quarter zip fleece pullover. Sold it for $22.88. I have $2 into it. This was in the Torrid haul. It's not Torrid, but it was in with all of the Torrid that I bought. And then we have this New York & Company lace tank. It sold for $19.99. It was new with tags. Not a brand that I would normally pick up. However, paid nothing for it. This was in a lot of stuff that my friend gave me to sell. And then I sold this Levi's Western cut pearl snap shirt. I really like selling these. This is probably the third or fourth one I've sold. I sold it for $18. I took a best offer of $18 and I have $2 into it. Actually, I think this is the second of that exact same fabric, those exact same colors and everything that I've sold. But the Western cut, which means it does the weird thing here, has the pearl snap buttons. Not every brand will sell, but a lot of them will. So if you ever happen to see them when you're out in the wild, comp them out and see, maybe what that brand will do for you. And then I sold these Levi's 514 Modern Fit straight leg. I sold them for $19. I have $5 into them. Not great, but it is still summer, and I don't really mind taking a best offer when on the off season. I know people buy jeans all year round, they really do, but we sell a lot less of them in the summertime. And then I sold these Lucky brand women's flare jeans for $18.88. I was really happy to have that because I've had them for a long time, and they're Lucky brand women's, which don't normally do very well with those. I have $4 into them. And then I sold this vintage Avon two-toned watch. It was made in Japan, and I sold that for $19.88, and I have $0 into it because that was in my free storage unit. And then I sold this vintage Busilla needlepoint stocking kit. I sold it for $19.88 also. I have $3 into it. What's going on? What is this? What is that? Sorry, I just looked in the viewfinder thing and I looked a little weird. Guys, I'm a mess. I am a freaking mess. I can't even tell you how much of a mess I am. Yeah, okay, so vintage cross stitch kits, I've talked about them before. This was a needlepoint and it had a lot of bling involved, but it's a stocking kit, and those will sell really well. Sometimes you have to sit on them for a little while if it is the off season, but pick them up anyway. I sold this Kent and Kerwin houndstooth sport coat, and it is a silk wool blend. I bought it at a thrift store on a whim. I had never heard of that brand before, and I've had it for a few months, but I sold it for $32.88, and I have $5 into it. I sold this Hemp Mania crossbody pouch. It is made of hemp. This was in one of the free hauls that I did fairly recently, and I sold it for $22.88, and I have $0 into it, so that's all right. I don't mind that. I sold one of these before. If you'd seen any of my What Sold videos previously, you might have seen this. This is a Kiss Ace Frehley and a Gene Simmons Matchbox car. They're not Matchbox, but they're little die-cast cars like Matchbox, just the little baby ones. And I sold them for $5 each. I had zero into these. We found them here. Like, they were in our basement, like from when we moved in. We've lived here 10 years, and we found them, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe. And then it took me another few months to actually get them listed. So $5 a piece is not bad, but he bought both of them. So I was okay with $10 for zero into it, for sure. I sold this Avon True Color lipstick for $9.88. I have zero into it. This was in my own Avon stash from back when I sold that. I had a ton of inventory left. And then I sold this a couple weeks ago. This is a Leonard the Rainbow Lion Squishmallow. This is the big guy. He was a big guy. And I sold him for no, I didn't. Yeah, I did. I sold him for $30, and that was the best offer. And I'm like, why not? I had zero into it. This was in the same free haul that the hemp, like little crossbody pouch was in. So yeah, that one really actually has paid off pretty well. And then I sold this. Okay, so that was all on eBay that I'm going to mention. And a couple interesting things we sold on Mercari. I sold these Sonoma Therese ankle booties. I sold them for $28. They are new with tags. This was in my Torrid haul, and I bought them for $2 because everything I paid $2 for. And then I sold these vintage metal. I can't freaking speak. Vintage metal ice cube trays for $28. This was in my recent vintage haul that I just got. Yeah, I sold them for that, so I paid nothing for them. $28, paid nothing for them. If you ever see those old vintage ice cube trays out, yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, church sales, any of that, pick them up because it's sold very quickly. It's sold within probably a couple of days. And then on Poshmark, I sold this Austin Reed suit jacket for $20. I have $5 into it. This is not ideal. And the reason I'm mentioning this, there's also a Polo Ralph Lauren that I'm going to mention here in a minute too. Suit jackets. So the difference between a suit jacket, a sport coat, and a blazer. A sport coat is just like a blazer. It's like a blazer you wear with jeans, khakis. Say you can wear a gray blazer with like a pair of black pants. It's not something that matches perfectly as like a suit. So a blazer is usually like navy blue or black or green, and it usually has a gold button on it, like gold buttons on the front. So those are like a blazer. A suit jacket is a jacket that belongs with a suit. So those are very long tail, very hard to get rid of because you have to find someone that has that perfect, pants to go with the suit jacket. Well, when we first started selling, I didn't know that. Like I didn't know the difference. It didn't hit me. So I was like, oh, this is a good name. I'll pick it up. Austin Reed is a good name, but not for a suit jacket. So I've had this for years, like 5 years. I don't know. I mentioned recently that I was discounting all of my suits, sport coats, suit jackets, formals, all of that. I'm discounting them all because I want them out. I don't want to mess with them anymore. They're very long tail, and I just am going in a different direction. I just don't want that kind of thing. So selling it for $20 is not ideal, especially it's new with tags. Like brand new, this suit probably sold for about $500 to $800, depending on, what it was. So don't pick up suit jackets. Pick up sport coats if they're a great name. Pick up suits if that's what you sell. Don't pick up suit jackets. They're very hard to get rid of. Sold these Buckle BKE Culture Boot Cut Women's jeans. I sold them for $24. I bought them for myself at a yard sale for $1. And I was like, you know what? These are buckle. I'm just gonna stick them up there and see if they sell. They did. So yeah, they sold for $24. I was okay with that. I sold this Polo Ralph Lauren, like I was mentioning, Polo Ralph Lauren suit jacket. I sold it for $35. Paid $5 for it. I have a story about that after I'm done, which I'm almost done. And then the last thing I sold on Poshmark were these Torrid oiled faux suede boots. And I sold them for $44. I have $2 into them. These were in the Torrid haul that I got all the other stuff in. So that was really good. I did have them marked up for, I believe I had them marked up for $54, but I kind of knew I wasn't going to get that, but why not? And then I had 2 sales on Facebook Marketplace. And the first one is this vintage new in box makeup mirror for $20. I have nothing into it. I actually had 2 of these. One of them I still have for sale. And this was in my the haul that I got from my mom's house for free. Yeah, so I was 0 into this. And then the last thing that I want to mention that we sold on Facebook Marketplace was this Vintage Classic Games chess set. This is from the late 60s. This was at my mom's house. And my mom was getting rid of all these old board games. Sold for $50. I have 0 into it. So that was a very nice sale. I don't know why I waited so long to list it. You know how we do. It's just sitting there. And you're like, oh yeah, I should list that. I should really list that. Listed it, sold within a week. $50. Yes, it did. Sure did. So the Polo Ralph Lauren suit jacket. Sold that on Poshmark. First of all of my listings always have every detail about the item. I have measurements. I have color. I have pattern. I have label. If I take pictures of a suit jacket, I will take a picture of it front, back, side, and then I will turn it inside out. Put it back on Jethro, my mannequin, and I will take a picture of it inside out, front, back, side. The front, usually on the inside of a suit jacket or a sport coat, it has the label from the manufacturer, from the designer. And then sometimes it might have a label from the department store in which it was sold. So this was a Polo University Club by Ralph Lauren, right there. And then underneath it, it said Marshall Field because it was sold at Marshall Fields. So the guy bought it. The guy sent me a message. Is this a 38 short? Yes, it is a 38 short. There was no sizing tag in the actual jacket. So when that happens, I do it off of measurements. I know how to measure a suit to determine the size. We've been doing it for years. I know how to do it. So it was a 38 short. Anything less than 32 from the top of the collar to the bottom of the hem, anything less than a 32 is considered a short across the board. This was a 31. It was a 38 short. So the guy buys it. He says, are you sure? Yes. Guy buys it. I get a message yesterday. He's opened a case against me on Poshmark because I sold him something that was not authentic. Because it was Marshall Fields. It wasn't Polo University Club it wasn't Ralph Lauren. Yes, it was. It was a Ralph Lauren, Polo University Club, Ralph Lauren, which is kind of their base model, sold by Marshall Fields. Marshall Fields isn't out there replicating things. It was sold by Marshall Fields. It was developed and sold by Marshall Fields. I freaking can't with people. So he opened up this case and he said that I was being fraudulent and that it didn't fit him. And I'm sorry, I provide all measurements in the description box. So cover your butts. Make sure you detail and document everything with that listing, especially Poshmark. because they know that they can't return it because of size. They're going to do what they can to get a return. So after he did his spiel, I have the chance to comment. And I said, look, everything is in the photos. The Marshall Field is in the photos. The Polo University Club close-up is in the photos. He knew that when he bought it. He knew the measurements when he bought it. He said that it was clear down to his knuckles and it was too long. Well, you know what? That sleeve measurement is in the listing. Poshmark will not give you a refund, a return based on fit. So he's trying to say that I'm selling a replica because, Marshall Fields is out there, making replicas of all these things. So I put my comment on there, and then he commented back, basically saying that I was a fraud and all of that. I've sold on Poshmark for many years now, so I'm not a fraud. He's trying to get something for nothing. He's trying to get a return. He has buyer's remorse, whatever. I don't know. But, so I just pretty much reiterated all the information is in the listing. Nobody's trying to be fraudulent. So let me tell you, and I will promise you, if Poshmark lets him return it and refunds the money from me, I will take every listing off of Poshmark and I will not sell on Poshmark anymore, because I am not going to sell for someplace. I'm not going to benefit someone that doesn't have my back when I am following all of the rules. I'm just not. I'm not doing it. If eBay did it, I would take everything off eBay, because I'm not going to benefit someone that is going to harm my business when I am being upfront, true 100%. I know it happens. I know it has happened to a lot of people. I'm not dealing with it. I'll go get a freaking full-time job. I don't care. I love my business, but I am not going to allow someone to take things from me when I have not done anything wrong. So, rant over, I promise. It's something that happened this weekend, and this week, and I'm just really pissed off about it. So, those are some of the things that we sold. I don't know, within the last couple weeks. I just kind of picked. eBay sales for us are still terrible. Absolutely terrible. Selling way more on Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace than I am on eBay, which is something that's really ridiculous. I have no idea. I'm listing every day. Every day I'm listing. I don't know. Evidently people, and I'm doing promoted listings. So I went 3 days without an eBay sale at all when we were selling 7, 8, 9, 10 things a day 4 months ago. So I don't know what the deal is, but look, it's another rant from Andy. I'm digressing. I digress. I'm done. I'm done ranting. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching my rants and for watching my what solds. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you being patient with me while I figure my crap out and get my stuff together. So I promise it won't be as long before my next visit. Everyone have a great evening, day, weekend, whatever. Until our next adventure, we'll see you later.